All right. So I was gonna do this tier list 3, 4 months ago. Stuff came up, and I was like, I still do have to do it. And with me using that time, we got shows like Soul Leveling in there, and that's about all I can see. But we do have new entries. We do have new entries. And I did change up the formatting a little bit. I used to have like all the pluses and all that, and I figured that made it a bit too like I was being lenient. I wasn't standing firm on a decision, so I was just meeting myself in the middle, and I don't think that's the way to go about things. And I also did put on top current favorite. Doesn't mean my favorite, because obviously that would be One Piece. Come on, let's go. Realistically, it just means at this moment in time, this is what I have enjoyed the most from the year, and I still do enjoy it the most so far. And more importantly, I got a cut. You know, I shortened the length a little bit because I felt like when it was like long and droopy, it looked a bit immature. You know what I'm saying? Let me shake that out a little bit. You see, it's like boom, boom, and then it's like it used to come down a little bit, but now I feel like I have a bit more symmetry to my face. So I got a text message, sorry. Okay, so Blood Blockade. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't take much from this show. I just know it had good animation, and I know that the female lead protagonist, or one of, she was a main side character. She was special. But other than that, I didn't really get much. And I'm gonna be a bit more harsh and firm, like with my stances. So I'm putting it in D. Fuck it, it's going in D. But I'm just going off of memory too. I watched this when I was like 15, so it may be better than I remember it being. Tanya, there are some shows on this list that I haven't finished, such as Blood Blockade and Tanya. So maybe if I finish them, they may go higher or lower. But just from where I got to in the show, this is where I would put them. Tanya, I think I enjoyed Tanya a bit better than Blood Blockade. And when I did watch what I watched of it, I think I saw the potential in it, and it was like I did not enjoy it. I just kind of fell off of it. So I'd put it in that middle ground, probably on the lower side of C. Undead Unluck is a show I first off, I didn't even expect it to get as many episodes as it's at right now, but that's a show I really want to finish and catch up to, because I watched up till episode 4, and I would put it like an A. That's a show that I do want to finish because I just like the concept, like the whole un thing. I think it works really well, and I don't think the show, at least where it's at right now, is going to be taking itself too seriously, but still, like, when it does get serious, like, it won't have trouble doing so. JoJo's. I'll put JoJo's in A. Yeah. I think lower side of A, just because it's like part 1 is okay. Part 2 I did enjoy. Part 3 I liked character-wise, but it felt like a very rinse and repeat thing, because that's really what JoJo's is. It's like it's like a gauntlet of enemies every single season. No, other than that, I think JoJo's as a collective is a good time. Invincible, I know it's not anime. I also have Arcane on here, and that's okay, because it's like pop culture cartoon / anime. I think A. The story as a whole is just solid. Heavenly Delusion, I'm not gonna lie to you, S tier. That was a good one. Heavenly Delusion caught me by surprise. Animation's top tier. It kind of reminds me of like Studio Ghibli. Maybe I just don't watch enough Ghibli, but I'm like, when I watch this and I like think of Spirited Away, I feel like the colors really pop out in the same type of manner. The story and how you like put it together piece by piece, and then when you get to episode 12, you're like, oh damn, like this was happening the whole. It's just, oh my gosh, it's actually so good. Tokyo Ghoul, I've seen season 1 and 2. I haven't seen 3. I'd put in B tier. And the shows that I've ranked before that haven't changed. I'm not going to try and dwell on them too much. Like Tokyo Avengers, I did watch season 2. I would give it like a high B. Shield Hero. If there's one show that I would like to speak about in like all seriousness, is Vinland Saga, right? Because it's like, I enjoyed Vinland season 1 just like everyone else did, and I was like, wow, this is great. We don't really get Viking shows, and it's a good time. Like, season 1 was great, and then seeing how season 2 divided, not the community, but seeing how season 2 just divided like the fans of season 1 into either they really hate it or they really love it. It was very interesting to see, and also it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know if it was where I was at that moment in time, like just with life and like being a young male. I don't know, but something about that show resonated with me a lot. And seeing Thorfinn go from not the top of the world, but from the position he was at, thinking like he had that shit all figured out and he was on a mission, to then fall into the fucking bottom of the barrel, almost seemed impossible for him to bring himself back up from the position where he was at. And just seeing him just do it though, like I don't fuck, that's a good show. I'm about to cry. It's just seeing him go from where he was at episode 1 season 2, and you just see not a glimpse of fucking hope in his eyes, him meeting Einar, them collaborating, and then just like building something great, building a bond. Oh my gosh, no, it's so good. It's just like the politics with Canute. No, I could talk about this shit all day. S tier. That's a good one. I don't care. Shield Hero. The best part about Shield Hero for me was episode 1 of season 1. And I'm not even trying to hate. That's just like, I didn't get past where, I think they're on the ship in the sky, if I recall correctly, and he just like awakens his rage shield, or he's just starting to. And I don't think I would give it better than D from my personal experience. And I'm assuming the show has gotten better considering how popular it looks like it is on my anime list. It just never caught my interest like that. Like there are isekai that I thought were doing better things, like Mushoku and ReZero and stuff like that. Speaking of ReZero, I guess it's right here. ReZero, I do need to finish season 2. The only thing I don't like about ReZero is that nigga Otto. I think that's his name. There's just something about him. I gets me mad. He just like, and it's for no reason too. It really is no reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just hating. I would give ReZero a high A though. Maybe S. I don't know, because that Betelgeuse episode is actually a top 10 anime episode of all time. And if you've seen the show, I don't think anyone's debating that shit. Because it's one thing to react to a show, right? It's one thing to put on a camera and like get in a mood where it's like I can verbalize my feelings, right? It's like different. I watched that episode sitting on my bed, and I was looking at my screen, and I was like my mouth opened. My mouth actually opened, and that's like, that doesn't happen when you're like alone by yourself. Like for a show to do that, I think that's a special thing. I think I had it in S tier before last year. Maybe I had an A. I'm gonna put an S now. Yeah, but S means like perfect though. No, it's S. It's S. ReZero is good, and ReZero makes me feel uneasy. I don't like the OST. Yeah. Akame, B tier, high B. 7 Deadly. I've said it before. I've said it multiple times actually. If 7 Deadly Sins was done properly, it would be just as good, in my opinion. Just as good, or maybe like close to it, as Naruto. Is that a hot take? Because I don't think people can deny it, like who've actually sat down and watched the show. Most people, seasons 1 and 2, very, very bingeable, and it's like a very enjoying experience. Like you enjoy it, you know. It's like, seems almost like mindless fun to a degree, but like it's really enjoyable. And I really like how they like Meliodas. You see him, he's the most powerful, but looking at Merlin, Bon, Escanor, like everyone brings something to the table, and it's like no one feels underpowered, maybe other than like Diane at some points, but even later on she starts like earthbending shit. Everyone is powerful in their own right, and it's like the enemies also feel powerful, and there doesn't seem to be a big gap. And it's like you see characters overtake other characters throughout the series. Like Bon, when he goes through purgatory, it's like, and he comes out, you're like, damn, he's the most powerful nigga in the show. Until like this happens with fucking King, and he becomes Fairy King or whatever. Like that's one thing I like about it. And I feel like if the last 2 seasons were done properly, because story-wise I feel like it was there, and for that I'm not gonna put it in A. That would be lunacy from me. But I would give 7 Deadly a mid B, and I think I've always had it in B tier. I do think it gets a bad rep, rightfully so though. That animation is trash. Shoku. Season 2 came out. It was the first half, so it was build up. It was still good. You know, I'm glad, without spoiling, like Sylphie was involved, and like the school academy thing was cool. but it wasn't too deep. It doesn't take away from my enjoyment of the show, though. I still think it's... Is it S? For me, when I talk Mushoku, I always talk ReZero. Because I feel like that, first off, once Mushoku first came into the game, it was automatically being compared to ReZero. And I found myself doing the same shit. And it's like there are aspects of Mushoku, especially season 1, that I like a lot better than ReZero. But ReZero does feel darker to me. And that's why I like it. I'm putting them next to each other for now. Attack on Titan, S tier. Not much to say about it. People didn't like the ending. I thought the show front to back was damn near perfect. I think the way it ended, while it was slightly predictable, it was predictable in a way that made sense. It's like the way the story was told made you understand that, okay, this was probably going to be the outcome. And yeah, like I don't know why the author gets criticized for that, because I think that was a beautiful story and I think it ended how it was supposed to end. So S tier. One Piece, Bleach, My Hero. This is one of those things where you look at this show and you're like, wow, it's like, I'm upset because it's a show you've grown to love, but you've just got to let go. Yeah, that's poetic, nigga. It's no, because looking at season 1, starting the show, I think it dropped in 2016, 2015. I remember watching the first season at my friend's house in like, not a group. It was like me and him and 2 other people maybe. And it's like, I remember when My Hero first came out, it's not like it was doing anything extraordinary, because it's like we already had Avengers and shit, but I think it was doing something new for its shonen scene at the time. And it's like, it was very exciting, and the animation was beautiful. The cast of characters was very, very diverse, and it's like niggas like Todoroki had like that swag, you know. It was very cool. Season 2 came around, it was great. Season 3 came around, the show was going great up until Overhaul, I personally feel like. And then after that, it felt like they like just took budget away from the show or did something. I don't even fucking know what they did. And I know people complain about the blue sky, and I'm not going to sit here and complain about the blue sky, but I do feel like part of that plays into like how the show sort of feels kiddish. And if you like look at some of the manga panels, it's some of the most like gruesome shit in the game. Like, put in My Hero manga up against every other manga on this list, it's like top 5 in gore. And I'm not saying I want like violence. I'm not a violent person. That's not what I was trying to say. But it's like having a show where niggas are throwing fists and lighting people on fire and fighting on a grand scale. It's like you want to see injury. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like it would make the show, and I know they have to appeal to as many people as possible. So then that's why it probably is toned down a bit. But at least like with the animation quality, it's like, if I feel like the animation quality and the cinematography, everything has went down with the show at its most like pivotal moment. I'm putting it in C. Prison School. I'm gonna be honest. I'm putting Prison School in S for a couple reasons. VP, scandalous. Shit. Listen, I'm like, there's not a lot of characters. Well, there is. There's not a lot of characters I look at and I'm like I don't even know. I can't even speak about VP. VP, she's a stallion medallion. That's what I call it. But she's great. Jokes aside, though, I'll think about it now. I'm sorry. Jokes aside, no. There's not a lot of shows, like, I'll get a chuckle here and there, you know, from a show maybe like Undead Unluck that has some comedy, and maybe like the deeper I get into it, it'll get more comedic. But like in Undead Unluck, for example, I think Heavenly had some comedy to it. One Piece has its little gimmicks, but like for the most part, I won't actively laugh at a show. Prison School made me laugh. Like, I was giggling, my toes were twiddling, like I was genuinely smiling watching the show. In every single episode, I was invested and interested, not only into the characters, not only into VP, but also into the plot of the show. Seeing VP in those in her PJs, that was good. That was good too. I love me some VP, man. I really do. Jeez. So Naruto's A tier. Parasite, it's a good show. A tier.
Witch from Mercury, I'm like 5 episodes deep. From those 5 episodes, I would put it in a high B. That's another show I want to finish. It's like I always start and then I just like fall off. Arcane, that's good. One thing about Arcane, the art style is fantastic, and also me having played League of Legends like for the first time when I first watched this, it was very interesting seeing like how characters actually how characters actually came into play. And I did see on my review that like someone was saying the characters who were actually involved in the game weren't going to die, so it made it like a bit predictable in how they would only kill off like show original characters. I don't think that would be the case unless they're strictly going off the lore of the game. I don't know how that works. Like, does each character have like a profile where it's like, for Jinx, for example, does it say like this, but like then she died at this point in time, but like she's still a playable character? So then like we would know she would die in the show, hypothetically. Like, is that how it would work? Because I thought they were just taking the original lore and expanding upon it and then just doing whatever they wanted with it. That's what I thought. But I don't know. Nonetheless, though, the show is fucking top notch. That's a good fucking show. One Punch Man, season 1 was like S. Season 2 was like B. So I'll put in A, low A. But I do love me some One Punch Man. Tomodachi, another show I really want to finish because it looked very interesting. I would put it mid B from the first 2 episodes. Eminence, I'm like 7 deep. I know I've been getting Eminence comments, and I really do want to make a review on this show. I heard season 2 is really good. Where I'm at right now, I don't understand the hype. I'm just being honest. It's not like it's bad though. Like this was another show, like similar to Prison School. This was another show that actually like made me laugh, and like he's like a funny nigga. He says so, I don't remember his name, but he's funny, and I do like him, the main character. But like the whole premise of the show so far, I don't know. It's like it's good, but it's not like my socks are still on. I'd put Eminence high B for now. Death Note, season 1 S, season 2 B, middle ground right there, baby. Ranking of Kings is another. That show is pushing S. It is. I would put it high A. Hell's Paradise. I mean, I think it did get like the budget cut treatment a little bit, to be honest, with considering the fact that JJK was on the horizon at the time and Chainsaw Man was just finishing. I think the concept though, out of the 3, the Dark Trio, if you want to call it that, I think it has a very cool concept, and I really did like it. Like the way Gabby Maru was like fighting, and like the colors and the vibrancy of the island and the flat, it definitely has potential. Fire Force, I'll be honest, A tier. It's just like the characters, soundtrack, sound effects, cinematography, the fights. Like my only qualm with the show is like the whole Tamaki fan service thing, because it just seems intentional. You know, with Iris, for example, this is an example. It's like she's a bit more like composed, you know, but it's like we see her praying in like her nice little cloth, if we want to call it that, and it's like, okay, amen. It's literally just with her. Like with everyone else, it's like it's that normal level of fan service from anime, I feel like, because it really isn't there like that. Like some of the women are just voluptuous and bodacious, and I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. On to the next one. Fire Force 8 tier, Nukai-san's dog. Okay, so I'm just gonna be straight up about this one. I don't think I've done much in my life that I feel like was pointless. You know, I feel like everything, a lot of the things I've done have led to different outcomes or lessons. I don't think I've learned anything from a Nukai-san's dog, and I feel like I wasted my time because I made the first video and I was like, okay, you know what? That was a good comedic video. Let me just watch it. And keep in mind, I didn't wait the 12 weeks. It came out on Thursday at about 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I sat at my computer right here, 12-minute episodes, nothing crazy, and I was like, let me watch a Nukai-san's dog, and I sat there like this, or like this, you know. That's what I did, and If you're horny, by all means, like this is the show. I'm putting it in D tier for dog. Promised Neverland, first season was S, second season was, so I would put it low B. Black Clover's B. JJK, I think I had it in A, and I was saying with season 2 would probably be S, and it was S. It damn sure was. There's not much to say about that. But Hunter x Hunter, I would say, is another S, because it's like I said, Seven Deadly was bingeable. I have never once in my life binged a show like I binged Hunter x Hunter. I watched episode 1 to I think there's like 160 episodes in that show. Maybe I'm lowballing or highballing, I don't know. But front to back, I watched that shit in like a week. Demon Slayer, not gonna try and harp on it too long. Season 3 did come out. I thought season 3 was like a C tier. And I think I understand the point of it, to kind of show how far Tanjiro and them have come, and how they actually like are strong now at this point, and how an upper 4 and upper 5 with the help of like 2 Hashira don't really like phase them like that. Like especially Tanjiro, the nigga's doing lightning breathing for what? Where did that come from? But no, the show itself for me is still lower B. Like I'm taking Black Clover over Demon Slayer still. That's just my opinion though. Gotta put something in F. I'm not putting Boruto in F because I have gotten enjoyment from Boruto, like barrier mode. Future Diary, since I watched it, I've always liked it. Only problem I have with it, the little arena that they gather at. Maybe it was just the time it came out. Maybe CGI was a new thing. I don't even fucking know. But that nigga looked like a Crash Bandicoot boss. I think that's my only issue. I did have to look up the ending of the show, but I feel like everyone had to if they watched it. I really like the dynamic between Yuki and Yuno. I thought it was a great time, and that was a gruesome show too. That did get kind of dark at points. Cowboy Bebop, I think I've said it before. I think it's a bit overrated. Doesn't take away from the greatness for me. I think the concept's very original. I'd put it lower A. Dr. Stone, haven't watched the second half of season 3, but I think it's S. It's one of those shows that like, at least from what I've seen, no other show is copying it, and it is a very original concept with a very good cast of characters done phenomenally well. And I'm always interested in like learning the science of what the fuck is going on. Twin Star, I'm putting that in F because I need to put something in F, and when I watched it, or what I did watch of it, I didn't enjoy it much. Claymore, C tier, solid show. I feel like Claymore could have been like really good, and I think I heard the manga is like top tier. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, S tier. Food Wars, I'd put Food Wars in C2. That's an enjoyable watch. So listen to what I'm gonna say. Solo Leveling, because I love a good story. Solo Leveling is not S tier in the way that I'm about to give it this S tier. It's going in S tier. It is. But it is only going in S tier because every episode has been good. The colors are great. The animation is top tier. And it's like, I've seen people talk about the characters and how they don't really have a presence. Personally, for me, it's like, I watch it. The only difference to me is that their names are in Korean than Japanese. It's like, I'm remembering Cha. Like that. That's not leaving my brain. I'm remembering Cha. And like there's Jinho, there's Juhee, there's Sung, there's Dong Suki. You know, it's like I remember them. I think for what it's building up to be, like every episode has been good. And it's like, while it is paced a bit fast, I've never been bored with it. I think it's a great show. And it's the top of Crunchyroll for a reason. So I'm gonna give it S for right now. 91 Days, that's a good show. That's B. Banana Fish, I didn't really like it. I watched 2 episodes. Maybe I needed to watch more, but I'm gonna put it in F because I didn't get any enjoyment from the first 2 episodes. Redo of Healer. I know someone's gonna be mad that I'm about to put Redo of Healer over Banana Fish, but I'm only doing it. It's still going in D tier. Higher D though. I'm doing it because it's like you take Redo of Healer, and the people who've watched the show front to back who aren't weird about it can understand, like, you take it, you look at what it presents to you, the characters and everything. It's like, it could be good. Genuinely, it could be good. Like, if they don't emphasize the criminal acts so much, and you like dial that back a little bit and maybe not put so much focus onto it, but maybe still let it be known that it's happening, and you focus a bit more on the lore and the story buildup and the character development, it's like it could be a solid show. Because it's like you have shit like Game of Thrones out. I always bring up Game of Thrones when people talk about Redo a Feeler and they're like, Redo a Feeler is so vile. How the fuck you watch this, blah blah blah. And it's like they will say that and then go watch Game of Thrones Sunday night, or House of Dragon, or any of these like American real life shows where they're like doing the same shit live action. Tower of God, S tier. This is like another one of those solo leveling things. Oshinoko. I'll put it right next to Hell's Paradise. I enjoyed some Oshinoko. I listened to B Star Ultimate, the last song that they did when Aqua was dancing. I listened to that, I would say, on a weekly basis. Like it comes on, and if it comes on in the playlist, like I'm in the car, like I think the OST opening was great. Hell's Paradise opening was good too. I just have to touch on that. But opening was great. Ending was great. Ending, I think, was the best ending of last year personally. And I think the show itself is a very solid watch. Like I really enjoy Kana. She's a great character. Seeing Aqua develop, seeing Ruby develop, it's good. I did hear it was getting a little federal. I saw a panel a couple months ago, and I didn't think it was real. But then I saw a panel last week, and I think that one might be real. And if it is, cut it off at season 2. We don't need to see the rest. Elfin Lead. That's like a high B, low A show. I'm gonna give it low A just for like respectful purposes. Great show. Very gory show, but it's dark. Like it's a good watch. That's a good watch. I might need to rewatch that one actually, because I remember watching that in computer class in 10th grade. Fairy Tail. I would give it D. Just because I got like 16 episodes in and it wasn't really resonate with me that I didn't really like it, but I know the manga is really good. I heard Fairy Tail manga is like really good. Haikyuu, low B. Love me some Haikyuu. Dragon Ball, from what I've watched, have to preface, haven't watched Dragon Ball. I have played the games. I've watched episodes of Dragon Ball, but like front to back, I haven't watched it. Code Geass, that's an S tier show. Samurai, I think I had it at S. I was hyping it up a little bit last year. I would still put Samurai at A. I would. Mob Psycho, I haven't seen season 3. Honestly, I think B, high B. Okay, let me check. Pokemon B. Let me check on my cat. Rena. Slime is another one of those shows that like I really do want to finish genuinely, just because I like Rimuru. Like I think he's a cool looking character. I'd put it in a C right now though. Classroom. I watched season 1. I watched episode 1 of season 3. Low B. Spy Family. Low B as well. Black Lagoon. From what I've watched, I think I'm like 8, maybe 10 episodes deep. I think if I finished Black Lagoon, it would probably end up being my favorite like old school anime, to be honest with you, because I love me some Revi. First and foremost, I really do. She slings that, I don't know what weapon that is, but she shoots it good. She's good at that. I like her hair. She has very nice hair. Because maroon is one of my favorite colors. It's like a maroon plum. Yeah, it's a mixture, a hodgepodge, a hodgepodge, if you will. Blue Lock, S tier. I think Blue Lock coming out in tandem with the World Cup was like the best decision they could have ever made, and I don't think the show would be half as popular as it is today without that being the case. Because the fact that it is still at the top of manga sales is a little fucking ridiculous. I don't know if it's still currently like this, but the fact that it was overtaking One Piece and like JJK for like a significant amount of time in copies sold is like fucking stupid. Considering they've made a bunch of money, I'm assuming that there will be a bit more emphasis into the animation, because I don't think they expected the show to pop off as it did. especially with that second half. Because the first half, the animation was good. That first, if the show was animated with how episode 1 was animated, I couldn't even. That would actually be the best show of all time. It would be so good because Bachira doing those fucking capoeira kicks or whatever he was doing. Oh god, yeah, because we were getting shots of like, it looked like FIFA 02 at times from that overhead when they would like come down and you would see them dribbling the ball. It was not the most appealing, you know. So hopefully that tones down a little bit next season and we actually get a bit more of that fluid animation because they have the money to do so. They definitely do. They have the budget. They should have the budget. We'll see with the episode Nagi movie thing if they like change much about it. But Chainsaw Man B and then Cyberpunk S. My current favorite. I feel like this one was a given. My current favorite show is Dr. Stone. No, it's not. Come on, man. Current favorite is Vinland. And I will say, Thorfinn was robbed at the Anime Awards. He was the main character of the year. Vinland was robbed of Anime of the Year. It was Anime of the Year. No, JJK rightfully won that. But I do think he was robbed of the main character. I don't know how Luffy won. And I love Luffy. But I feel like Thorfinn or Eren had a bigger impact last year in the main character realm. But Vinland has moved into my top 10. And it's not 10. Nor 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. It's top 5. It is top 5. And I was gonna put Frieren on this list because Frieren really, especially the first 4 episodes, really remind me of like the storytelling of Vinland in a sense where it's like there's action but there isn't, and it's more so character and like symbolism and development of like oneself with Frieren. But I did want to make like my initial review on that first, and then I'm sure I'll be finished with the show next year, so I'll just rank it next year because I didn't want to spoil my rating for the review, for my initial review that I'm gonna come out with in a couple weeks. It's just, I don't think there is a show on here that has hit me emotionally like Vinland has. Like there is something genuinely beautiful about seeing not someone go through the same thing you are going through, but a character go through trials and tribulations on an exaggerated scale, but like symbolically you can resonate with it in life, you know, like getting over hurdles and like always persevering, and like even when you're at your like lowest. And I know that's a main point in a lot of shows like with us, to like surpass your limits, blah blah blah. Like I get it, but it's the way it's orchestrated and told to you, and to take like, and to be grateful and appreciative of like the little things. I'm about to cry. No, like I'm actually in a very emotional state, like I might cry. And seeing Thorfinn like get appreciation and like see the beauty in like just farming and like but then see it's so good. It's so good. I'm done. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore because I'm gonna start bawling my eyes out. And just fuck, he's good, man. He's good. Damn. That's all I gotta say. That's the list for 2023. Obviously subject to change because as Stephen A says, the list is fluid. The list is fluid. It'll always be fluid. And with that being said, on to the next.